So do you guys remember, like, a couple of months ago, there was a Sonic mobile game release. It was exclusive to Apple Arcade. Everyone was mad about it. It was actually quite solid of a game, and it's probably one of the better 3D Sonic games to release, period. Right? I can't really put my finger on it. What was it called again? That's right, everybody. Sonic Dream Team, the game that we all forgot about, just got a major content update. Well, it's actually coming today, and I will be streaming it, so you guys can go check it out. But we got our first major content update for a game that we didn't know if it was going to be live service, if it was going to get updates continuously, but it seems like that is going to be the case. There were some news articles prior to the game's release talking about it's going to receive post-launch support, and now we finally got some confirmation with some very new interesting content ideas. So with that being said, let's go ahead and break down all the new updates, everything you need to know about the new Sonic Dream Team update. But of course, before you do that, you got to make sure to subscribe to the channel with all notifications, because this is one of the best places in the world to be for all things Sonic. We literally do everything Sonic here, so do that. I'll give you a second. And let's get into the content update for Sonic Dream Team. So yes, it is officially true. Post-launch content is on the way. And honestly, that was one of the things that I thought about when this game first came out. Like, are they going to adequately support this game? Is the content going to be enough? And so far, it was proving that whatever content that they had for this game was clearly not enough. Most people beat this game in about 2 to 3 hours, probably canceled their Apple Arcade subscription, and called it a day, basically. It's understandable and it makes sense because there's not really much content to do in it. Obviously, the level design is incredible. Everything about this game is really fun. Controls are pretty decent, but the problem is, like, what do you do after you beat the game? Once you collect all the medals and missions and everything like that, you do the 100% stuff. There's not really much to do. There's the Daily Tales missions, but those really weren't that good. So now we have a full slate of updates, new modes and stuff like that, stuff that's going to be interesting. So let's go ahead and break it down, because I'm actually optimistic, because maybe this could lead to even more content updates in the future. So the first announcement was made by Sonic Stadium. Sega has announced the first content update for Sonic Dream Team. As you can see right here, we have a couple of screenshots as well. So there we go. Oh, what is this, a boss rush or something like that? There's a lot to get into, so we're going to do a little bit more in-depth, because I don't know where this comes from. If you look at this website right here, it says Sonic Dream Team update adds time trials, which is really cool. Kind of reminds me of SSS. Overhauls boss fights and more. Some truly crabulous additions. Okay. All right, so here's a picture of Guardian Hunter. I don't remember if this is what the boss looked like when we first did it. To be honest, it's been a while since I played the game. So it says, if you've been enjoying the Apple Arcade exclusive Sonic Dream Team, you have more to dig into later today. Sega has the first update scheduled to go live. So for those of you wondering what's going to go on with this update, it's going to be dropping today. So it's going to be dropping in a couple of hours. So we'll probably have an update review or something like that, but who knows? It says, from the looks of it, there's a little something for those who want more from the bosses and folks who are striving to go even faster. For the former, the update adds 8 new boss missions, as well as overhauls to some of the key boss fights. So that could be interesting. I mean, the bosses in the game were pretty forgettable, I feel like. Even the last boss, like, it was pretty good. It was more of a platforming level, but it wasn't like a true proper climax, which is okay, because I feel like the last Sonic game, you know, we got one of the craziest final bosses ever. I mean, I was at the edge of my seat for this whole fight. I think it was one of the rawest moments in Sonic history. In Super Sonic 2, go up against the end, like that, you know, that's a lot. So the lack of story and kind of just like the more laid-back tone of Sonic Dream Team, kind of just the laid-back tone of Sonic Dream Team was okay. It was like a welcome change. Honestly, the big thing that they needed to focus on was not the theatrics, but making the game just good, you know? Not having any division on it, and for the most part, most people aren't really split on the game. The criticisms of the game are pretty much that it's locked to Apple Arcade, and maybe some of the post-game content is not really there. And it looks like that is all being addressed. Anyways, this is what it says. Enemies like Dr. Crabulous, the Factory Foreman, and the Guardian Hunter have all been tweaked to shake things up a bit. According to the announcement, this includes the addition of a few new moves to keep the players on their toes during battle. So they're kind of reworking them. A lot of people did say that, you know, the boss battles were kind of easy in a way. Again, after playing Sonic Superstars as well, those final bosses were absolutely miserable. So maybe just like a good Sonic game with no controversy, no divisive gameplay decisions is good. You know what I mean? So, but ultimately those bosses were kind of easy. So I think maybe shaking up a little bit, giving people a new challenge and just giving them something new to log into the game is going to be an objective win. So here's also where it gets interesting. It says, if going fast is your thing, and why wouldn't it be? You're not playing a Big the Cat platformer. Well, listen, bro. I mean, like, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I actually am one of those people in the world that kind of likes the Big the Cat gameplay in Sonic Adventure. Once it clicks, it's kind of easy, but whatever. It's beside the point. So it says the update introduces time trials and some handy tools for speedrunners. Interesting. So tools for speedrunners, you know, introducing this game to the speedrunning community will definitely boost replayability, which is, again, one of the issues that a lot of people had with the game. So they're addressing the fact that, you know, once you beat the game, what is there to do? nothing. But the levels are pretty fun to play. It's nice to explore, but when you don't have a reason to, it is what it is. Taking part in the time trials will give you a shot at nabbing the best completion time in each act. The results will be available on the leaderboard once recorded, so you go back and try to best yourself or everyone else, depending on how competitive you're feeling. I'm feeling pretty competitive. If you guys want to race against me, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not racing any of you guys because I'll win. But speedrunners, the Sonic Dream Team update adds ranks for each act. Oh my goodness, this is actually a really good update because now we're going to have to basically play the game all over again. We're going to have to play all the levels with the new speedrunning mode and try to get an S rank. So that's going to add probably 9 new levels unless they do it for each individual act. I mean, they say it's for the act. So I would imagine, yeah, if you look at the screenshot right here, I think they just add a new thing. Perhaps they could provide new and interesting ways to play the levels, right? It could just be like a glorified speedrun essentially to get the S rank, kind of like Sonic Generations. Like if you don't die in Sonic Generations, you automatically basically get an S rank. But perhaps they could add interesting ways to play the level, maybe going off of jumps and boost time, and maybe how many rings you have, how many enemies you kill. There'll be a point system, just similar to getting those A ranks and S ranks from the olden days of 06, SA2, Sonic Heroes. Some of them were A ranks, some of them were S rank, whatever the case may be. But yeah, just going back to some of that traditional Sonic gameplay will again boost the replayability, but also allow us to play some of these incredible levels in new and different ways, like many of the missions already allow you to do. So yeah, that's going to give us 9 new levels to sink our teeth into. So when we stream the update today, there's going to be a lot going for it. So that's actually really good. The Sonic Dream Team first launch on blah, 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 blah. And Sega reiterated this is the first of 3 content updates, other additional updates planned for sometime in 2024. Wow, so that's actually really big news. So we got the boss battles, we got the time trials, we got speed challenges or speed running mode. Actually, if you look at this post right here, it says Sega's announced that it will feature time trials, boss missions, overhauled boss fights, and speedruns. So yeah, the speedrunning update is definitely going to be really interesting. So it's going to be a reason to replay the whole game again. The big thing is definitely going to be the 3 content updates. I mean, a lot of people had said that they didn't like the replayability of the game, and now this is a reason to milk us for our Apple Arcade subscriptions. If you'll notice, it's been 3 months around since the game came out, and now, you know, a lot of people who are on their free trials and stuff like that, they may have just missed out on the opportunity to play this, and they're going to have to resubscribe. Luckily for me, I don't have to resubscribe because I got a 6-month free trial. You are never getting my money, Sega. Well, actually, they might get my money because they said there's 3 updates. So I wonder what else is going to be added because this seems like a pretty beefy update. This probably extends the runtime from the game, probably like an extra hour or so. Maybe 2. So if there's 2 more updates, I'm still holding out hope that they could add additional characters to the game. Maybe we can get Shadow. Maybe we can get whoever else people want in the game. But maybe we could even get additional worlds or additional levels. Now, that would definitely keep me coming back. Maybe there'll be a true multiplayer mode. Probably not. It doesn't look to be the case. It looks like it'll all just be us comparing our times together. But very interesting, and the future of Sonic Dream Team is pretty bright. So Sonic is still having a busy year. Don't forget about some of those old content. You know, they basically added DLC to every game. So I wonder what's going to be coming next. Maybe Sonic Superstars DLC. Who knows? But that's the update. We'll be streaming it today. Let me know what you guys think about it, and I'll see you in the next one. If you're interested in learning about some history about the times that Sonic was featured in games that weren't Sonic games, make sure to click the video over to the right next.